This conference will now be recorded.
In last meeting, we discussed about patterns and subpatterns concept, right? In that, we have seen simplest details, and list phase also we have seen. Today, we are discussing about the next pattern called table of contents. This is very important pattern and very important form. See, first of all, let me show you the table of contents template. Formally, this template or a pattern, we can called as a parameter form. We can also call it as a parameter form, this one. Okay, let's open the user interface. I'll show you the parameter form right now. Suppose if you go to any module like human resource management or anything, like you can see there is a human resource parameters. In every module, one parameter form will be there. In that parameter form, basically we will create the setups. I mean, we will impose the setups really. If you can see, in any parameter form, we will create the setup values. Every module, for example, if you go to the fixed assets, you can see the parameter form here in the fixed assets parameters. I mean, each and every module having their own parameter form will be there. Basically, that parameter form act like a main form in the module, because for every requirement we will create some setups in the parameter form itself. So parameter form will act as a parent form, I mean a main form in the module. That is the parent form in the module. Each and every module having only one parameter form will be there. Okay, first of all, let me open the parameter form design. I will explain you why we are designing this form and all. Parameter form look like this. Like here in the left hand side, there is a tab pages. Already we have designed this template kind of thing previously. But anyway, we will design again here. Okay, like this. These are all setup values. For example, minimum depreciation amount. This value we will use somewhere else. This is setup value. And capitalization threshold. So this value we will use somewhere else, like this. Minimum depreciation amount in report. So this value I will use in somewhere else. So wherever there is a chance of hard coding, so to avoid the hard coding, what we will do, we will create a value here, and we will capture this value in the X++ coding directly. So we don't do any hard coding in the real time. If there is a chance of doing hard code, directly we will place the value, we will create a value here, and the end user will enter the value here, and from this value we will capture in the coding itself directly. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's create this kind of parameter form first. To create this kind of parameter form, we require a separate table, because all the setup values we will store in a particular table, in a separate table. And we don't use the business tables like employee table, loan table, or skill table. We don't use this kind of tables to design this parameter form. We require a separate table. In that table only we will store the setup values. So now I'm going to designing one table especially for this requirement. New item, go to the data model. I'm creating a new table here. The table name I'm giving EMP param table. Okay, EMP param table, parameter table, or else you can write the name as EMP parameters. The table name EMP parameters, like that, or else you can write EMP param table. Okay, Let me add the table to the project. Now in this table, I will create some fields. For example, first let me explain you the requirement. Let me open the EMP table in the browser. Let's see here. There is a A's column. First of all, I'm telling you the requirement. After that, how we will implement that issue, how we will fix that issue in the parameter form, we will discuss later. First, let me tell you the scenario. In our employee form, there is a A's column. Suppose I'm creating a new record. I will enter the A's minus 1000. Is it correct? But the system will accept the value minus 1000. I need to restrict the value, right? As per the client requirement, the age should be in between 20 and 60. Let us assume that. As per the client requirement, the age should be in between 20 and 60. 20 will be accepted value. 60 will be accepted value. Out of 60 means 61 will not accept. Below the 20, I mean 19 value will not accept. Suppose if I am giving below 20, above 60, system should not accept the value. So that what I need to do? The next step, I need to write a business logic in the age field. Am I right? Okay. So let's go to the table. Let's open the table. Here in the methods, in the table methods, there is a validate write method is there. Validate write method. Okay. Let me open the validate write method. But this is initially, I should not tell, but I'm telling you here. Just
You are not audible, Arjun.
a second, just I have muted my mic. Okay, so I just have opened the validate write method and I will write the code like this. If this dot is less than 20 or this dot is greater than 60. Okay, here I'm writing some business logic. I'm writing some warning kind of thing, is error. Or you can write something like age should be in between 20 and 60 only. You should write like that message. Okay, I'm writing return false. Okay, now it will work fine. If we are giving less than 20, greater than 60, okay, you will get age message, age error message. But here we have done hard coding 20 and 60. Directly I have placed the values in the code. In future, client requirement may change. They will ask to create a 22. They will ask to set up the value 65 in future. Then what we need to do? Again, developer has to come to this place and they need to change the values. Am I right? Only developer can do that. Suppose at that moment, at that time, developers are not available. What the end user will do? What the client will do? Handicap, am I right? So that we are giving provision to the client or end user the minimum age value, maximum age value in the parameter form. I will create minimum age value, maximum age value in the parameter form so that the end user or client will enter the data in the parameter form itself. Directly, those values I will capture here. In place of 20, I will capture minimum age value. In place of 60, I will capture the maximum age value. Okay, let's create the parameter form first. For this, I have created a table called EMP param table. Now I'm creating two fields like minimum age, maximum age. I'm choosing integer because our age is also integer, so data types should not mismatch, like integer value like a minimum age. The label I'm providing minimum age. One more field I'm creating max age. Maximum age. Okay. Now for this form, sorry, for this table, I'm creating a form. Go to the user interface. I'm creating a form for the EMP param table. Same I'm giving EMP param table and drag the parameter table into the data source. Okay. Now I'm giving the caption as like human resource parameters. The caption I have given like this. Here there is a fixed assets parameters, right? So in the same way, I have given the caption as human resource parameters. Okay, now for a design caption I have given, and let me apply the pattern called table of contents. See here, I'm applying the pattern called table of contents. Here you need to remember, to develop a parameter form, we need to choose this template. We should not choose any other template. Only Microsoft has decided for parameter form this template. Okay, let's click on the table of contents. Only one missing control is there, that is called a tab control. Let me create a tab control. Inside the tab control, they may show another mandatory controls after creating the tab control. Okay, let me rename it form tab. Okay, now I have created a tab control. Inside the tab control, like this, there is a fixed assets tab page is there, right? Fixed assets tab page. Or else I'll show you one more parameter form like human resource parameters. Okay, there is a general tab page is there. General tab page that I'm creating right now. Right click, new tab page. This is general tab page, right? I'm giving general. This is the name. Caption also I'm providing same general, so that I have created this one general. In this general, there are two sections. One is header section, second one is body section. This is header section. Okay, this is entirely body section. All these fields are in the body itself. So we have two sections. Okay, let me create two sections here. First, here, see, there is a title group and body group. Title group and body group. Okay, let's create a title group first. I mean group control. Let's create a group control. New group control. Like the name I'm giving title group. In this title group, static text we need to create. Right click on the group, create a static text. See here, there is a static text. In this static text, here there is a setup human resources text is there. For this text, we have created static text control. The same text I have copied there and I am pasting here. Sorry, in the text property itself, we need to paste. Setup human resources, static text control name I'm giving setup human resources without any spaces. Okay. Okay. Now we have completed this part, and now we are creating body section. In this body section, I need to add my minimum age value, maximum age value. Okay, title group we have completed. Okay, go to the general tab and tab or group missing. Tab or group missing, select anyone, your wish. So that I'll create a group control again in the general tab for body section. Body. Okay, body section. And in this body section, I'll create one heading, age validation kind of heading. Age validation. Copy the name and paste it in the place of caption, age validation. Now in this group, I will drag and drop minimum age, maximum age value. Minimum age, maximum age. So that how exactly we have designed? There is a something like a absence color codes is there, right? In this place, we have created age validation text. That is group control. See here, age validation group. I mean this one. Absence color code or injury and illness. It is a group control. In this group, we have two columns, right? In this group, we have two columns, period and unit. In the same way, here we are showing age validation. This is minimum age. This is maximum age. Okay. Let's save the changes and build the project along with the synchronization, because we have created a table also, right? So now I'm making synchronization database on build it true. Apply. Okay. And then let's build the project. Now this time synchronization also will happen. Okay, build completed. Let me open this form. Setting as a startup object. Let's execute. Okay, see here. The minimum age value and maximum age value we are showing here. Age validation is a group control here. Okay. And we have created general tab, right? Now here, I will place the value like 20 and I will place the value 60 here. Now, how I will capture the values here? how I will capture the values from here to our business logic. Okay, let's go back to the code. In which table we have written? I mean, which table the fields are available? HRM, sorry, EMP param table, right? So in this table, the values are available. So this is the buffer I have created. So I'll tell you later, but just understand the concept of what I'm doing here. Now I'm writing a select query, select param LOC. Now here param LOC dot minimum age, param LOC dot maximum age. That's it. Now we have resolved the issue and we don't have any hard coding in our business logic. Directly we are acquiring the values from the parameter form. So that is the main uses of the parameter form. Okay, whenever there is a chance of making hard coding values, okay, don't do that. Just go to the parameter form and create a field there, and the end user will enter the value. That value we need to capture, or we need to acquire the value here dynamically. So previously we have done hard coding 20 and 60. Lifelong the end user or client needs to adjust with those values, but it is not required right now. Whenever they want to change the values, okay, directly they will have a chance of a parameter form is there. In the parameter form they will change the values. According to the values, the business logic will work here. I think you people understand this concept, why I'm designing the parameter form. For entire module, only one parameter form will be designed. And one more thing, in parameter form, I mean in parameter table, we can create only one record. We should not create more than one record. In EMP table, we have created 2 to 3 records. I mean, currently we have 2 or 3 records are there in EMP table, but in parameter table, we will not create more than one record, because system should capture the one value at a time, right? Only minimum age should be one value, maximum age should be one value. Suppose if we have 2 records, which record value I need to fetch here? That is confusion kind of thing. So we should not create more than one record in the parameter form. And also, if you observe the parameter form design, you cannot see new button, delete button. In normal forms, by default, you will get new button, delete button, edit button and all, right? Save button. But here only the save button is available, but we don't have any new button, delete button is there. If we have a new button, I can create a one more record, right? So that again I need to enter another values. So which value I need to take? Minimum age value, maximum age value. Suppose if we have 2 records in the parameter table. So that is the reason from back end, the system is not allowing to create a new record.
Arjun, so so if you want to create a new tab, for example, let us assume it's like a setup which can be reused. It has a different customers, and each customer has a different parameter. So we can create multiple tabs, right? So if you want to do that, we can do that. New button here.
For especially for one customer, we cannot create a tab control or fields, because that user maybe I can delete in future. So that
you can delete it. I'm asking
one for functionality. For functionality, we can create tab pages. Like there is a general tab page I have created.
Yeah.
Okay. Let there are a number of tab pages are there, right? Recruitment, compensation, number sequences. There are multiple tab pages are there. You can create a number of tab pages. In general, there are so many things are there. You can create, for example, okay, I'll tell you one more thing. Where is that form? Let me execute the form again. Let's discuss elaborately about this parameter form design, because when you want to start creating a new module, first you need to design the parameter form.
Yeah.
Please remember, suppose you are going to creating a new module, entire new module. Then first, what we need to develop? Parameter form. Because every form, every general forms link with the parameter form. Am I right? So that is the reason. First, we need to develop the parameter form. After that, you will create your own master forms, child forms, everything. If you want to start a new module creation, first create a parameter form. After that, create your own things. That's it. Because
Right.
parameter form, like a father of the module.
Sorry, what if the legal entity have different validation? For example, one legal entity from 20 to 60, but another legal entity in the same company have, for example, from 15 to 60.
See, that's what here, for example, okay, let me tell you something here. So right now, these values are available in that company, right? Now, oh God, just a second. So you are talking about legal entity wise data in parameter form. It is in that company. Suppose if I change the value from that company to something like USMF company, okay, let me open US. The data are showing similarly, but we'll see. Okay, already we have our form, right? Okay, we will see that first. We'll see that. Already we have our form. Suppose if I change the form to any other company like FRRT. Let me open the table browser, and you can see the data pointing to that company. Suppose if you enter another data, so those values will automatically take, right?
Right. Okay, got you.
Right. That's what.
Okay, one more query, please. In the code, please, you used super function or super method. It's already exist method, I know. But how you know what is the use of this method? And is there any documentation for exist method so we can know it?
So you're asking me how we will know we need to write this method for validation
No,
purpose.
no, super. See this variable, ret, ret, then you use super. Yeah, this one.
Okay. Super calls the main functionality of this method. See, when this method will execute, validate write method, when we are trying to save the record, this method will execute validate write method. At that moment, system will call the original functionality of this validate write method. Okay, anyway, this is not the right time to explain all the things about the methods concept. We have a separate
Okay.
class. In that class, I will explain you which method will trigger which point of time, what is the super functionality, what is the method syntaxes, like everything I will
Perfect.
explain you.
Okay.
Okay, but
Okay.
just for your understanding purpose, I need to tell you the parameter form requirement, right? And how it will be used in the real time. For that requirement, I just have opened one sample method. Okay, fine. So guys, do you have any doubts in this parameter form? See, main points are every module. I mean, each and every module having their own parameter form. Only one parameter form will be there in entire module. And for developing parameter form, we have to use a separate table. Okay, and separate form, the form template should be, the form pattern should be table of contents. And in parameter table, only we can able to create one record at a time in a particular legal entity. So these are the main points, please remember. Okay, now coming to the next thing. In last meeting, I forgot to tell you about field groups concept. Okay, let me open this form, setting as a startup object, EMP table. In this form, I'm just explaining you about field groups, how it will show. Suppose if you see, let me open another design, parameter form, human resource parameters. See, it is a field group, recent hires, date range. This is field group. In this field group, we have two columns are there. View exciting workers, date range. It is a field group. In this field group, we have three fields. Termination default, it is a field group. Payment method, it is a field group. Hire worker, it is a field group. So these field groups, how we will create? Okay, let me close all the windows and let me execute this form. Oh God, what happens? Okay, in this form, we have a general tab page is there. In this form, general tab page. In this general tab page, we have a couple of fields are there like employee ID, name, age, date of birth, address, phone number. Okay, let me segregate the fields into the field groups. We have 6 columns, right? 6 columns. I will create in 3 field groups. Okay, 3 field groups. Okay, let's go back to the design. Open the form and the designer area. Go to the general tab page. Okay, let me change the tab style here. Okay, it is a drop list right now. Let me make it vertical tabs like this. Vertical tabs. Like in parameter form, there is a vertical tabs, right? Now go to the general tab page. We have 6 columns right now. The 6 columns, I will keep it in 3 field groups. Let's create 3 group controls one by one. 1, 2, 3. I have created 3 field groups. 1, 2, 3. First group name I'm giving like identity field group. Okay. The name, the caption also I'm giving identity. In this identity group, let me drag and drop ID and name. So that in identity group, we have ID and name are there. In second group, like A's group, this is name and caption also I'm giving the same A's. In A's group, A's and date of birth I will drag and drop from here to here only. I'm not going to drag and drop from the data source to design. Already we have dragged, right? The same fields I'm adjusting inside the groups. Now third group, contact field group. Copy the name and paste it in caption property. In contact group, address and phone number I'm dragging, so that we see here in general tab page we have 3 field groups. Each group contains 2 fields. Save the changes, build the project. Synchronization is not required. Build the project and execute the form. Okay, see here, if you go to the general tab page, you can see identity, we have 2 columns, A's 2 columns, contact 2 columns. Okay, let's do one thing. We have so much space is there here. Why can't we adjust all the columns like side by side? If we are designing like this, we need to scroll down the property. We need to scroll down the window and we need to see the values, right? We need to see the fields. Okay, how many groups are there? 3 groups, right? I'll do one thing. For these three groups, which control is the parent control? For 3 groups, we have here 3 groups. For 3 groups, which is the parent control? In which control the 3 groups are there? Any idea? These 3 groups are resided under general tab page, right? This is the parent control for these 3 groups. Am I right? So go to the
Yes.
parent control. Go to the parent control, and there is a property called columns. I will keep it 3, so that whatever the sub controls are there in this particular control, those will be adjusted in 3 columns. Execute.
Suppose if there are no sub controls, I directly added fields, right? So in such case, if I give column as 3, then the fields will be arranged in 3 columns.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. 100%. Now you can see identity A's contact. This is looking good, right? Rather than the previous design.
Will it also be out of the box possible to define some space between these columns to adjust it?
expected question. So here the thing is, whatever the predefined functionality is there, we need to leave like that. Suppose if you want to change something, it will affect somewhere else. See, for example, if I'm creating a next control, if I want to create a next control, so that it will start from here. It will start from here because the length automatically taken by the system itself, like this. The next field group from here. So system will automatically adjust the control spacings and all. Suppose if I want to adjust my own space, what exactly you want to do? You want me to do some spacing in between identity field group and age field group, right? Some space in between.
Yes.
Okay. So you just need to go to the age field group. Check the properties. Check the properties. Position, height, width. No. Specify width determine fixed as a specified size to content. No, really. So that is a really complicated thing, and we don't have an option here, but in properties window even here. But if you go to the 2012 application, there are properties to adjust this kind of alignments and all. We don't have an option in 2012 product, but here we don't have. System will automatically adjust. Next thing, you want me to know anything from my side? And one more thing, this field group, where exactly we have created in design level, right? These field groups we can also create in table level. That I will show you. We'll complete this topic. Go to the EMP table. Go to the EMP table, and here there is a field groups. I can create here also instead of creating directly in the design itself. So that I'll create a field group, one sample field group. Right click, new group, something like contact info. In this contact information field group, okay, let me provide the name, label, contact information. Okay, in this contact information, let me drag and drop contact related fields like a phone number and address are the contact related fields, right? Okay, now I just have a drag and drop the fields here. And how can I get this particular field group in the design itself? Now go to the EMP table, just restore your form. Okay, before restore, let me show you something. In the field groups, you cannot see any field group, right? You cannot see any field group. Okay, let's restore it. See, automatically contact info has been reflected. Simply this contact info, I'll drag and drop in the general tab page. That's it. The fields. Let me execute and I'll show you in the user interface. Okay, let me provide a four, or else it will adjust in the 3 columns. Go to the general tab page. I'm giving 4. Save it. Directly I'm executing. Okay, don't worry, it will build automatically.
Yes, even I have noticed it. So without even building, if we make some changes to the properties and directly run it, I forgot to build couple of times, but still the changes were reflected in the front end.
Because while we are debugging the system, so automatically it will build small properties, not a problem. But if you done major changes, okay, like adding some controls, okay, like if you written some piece of code, so that may not reflect. So for this kind of small things, no problem. See here, it is
Okay.
already showing as a next control. I have added a phone number and address. That's what contact related. Fine, no problem. Okay. So any difference you've found for contact and contact information? Nothing is there, right?
Yeah.
But there is a small issue here. This one you have created in form level. Am I right? This one we have created in form level. This one we have created in table level, field group. There is a small difference. It is global. It is global. It is global, but it is local. It is local. I'll tell you what is global and what is local. I want to show the same field group in another forms. But here, suppose if you go to the EMP table underscore SL form, when you open field groups, you can see contact info. Again, no need to create in the design itself. Directly you can drag and drop wherever you want, because you have created a table level. But this one you have created at form level. Only those field groups design will be affected to this form only. Instead of creating in design level, in form level, you better to create a table level, so that wherever the table is using, automatically the field groups also carry forward, right? For in all the forms, simply we can able to drag and drop to make less work.
So Arjun, so whenever we get a requirement of, like we are creating this field group, right? So how do we know when we should create in the form, when we should create in the table? So majorly we'll be doing in the table itself, right?
Again, blindly just create a table level, that's it. So
Then
no need to.
my example. So we are extending an existing sales table, for example. So in that case, what we'll be doing, like we are creating an extension for an existing sales table form.
Okay, I'll tell you here.
Yeah.
Field group contact field group you have created at form level. Am I right?
Yeah.
Contact field group you have created at form level. Contact info field group you have created table level.
Yeah.
Now this contact field group I have used in three forms. Assume that this contact info field group I have used in three forms. In future, I have added one more field like fax number. Simply, I will create a fax value, fax field, and I will drag and drop here. So in all the forms it will reflect immediately. No need to add manually in all the forms. If you added here, automatically wherever the field group we are using, in all the places, the fax field also will show in the design part directly. No need to add manually. Suppose you are creating manually in the design, again the value, the fax value, I need to drag and drop like this. I need to drag and drop like this manually in the design part.
Yeah.
Again, in all the forms, you just need to go to the design and you need to add the value, fax value manually. So better to create at a table level the field groups and all. That is better, but better anyway.
Yeah.
if we have a particular requirement, okay, I just want to show only these values in my form, these values I should not show, then you can create in the form level, but give the major priority for field groups at a table level.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm clear with the session, and tomorrow is off. Tomorrow Sunday. Let's take a break and practice all the sessions. If we are not practiced, just make it practice, because most of the design things I have completed. Only 2-3 concepts are there related to design and all. Okay, we will discuss then in the next meeting itself, and we will finish the designing part and all. So then directly we will jump into the programming after that.
Arjuna, actually, please help us to provide the recording soon.